Please run with that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get the
I saw this on your laptop. Your story said, no, not the sticker. You had Reddit pulled up. It
we
said,
both just looked at the stickers.
Welcome back, everybody, to Are You the Asshole? My name is Jordan. I'm with my lovely and beautiful, handsome, gorgeous co-hosts, Josh and Nick.
Man, you better settle down.
I say it's like one adjective too much.
Just one. And today, as usual, we are reading Reddit stories and judging you what we do best.
We do what three white guys do best.
Of course.
Judge you.
Yeah. And we deserve our platform.
Right? We all have very diverse backgrounds. No, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Everything we say is truth.
Take it at face value.
Please.
Again, similar, I don't know if you can tell, we are recording this on the same day. I know.
Sacrilegious.
I know.
It means you get more content.
True.
You're welcome.
And if you watched last episode, you know I killed the bug theme. I'll find a new theme, guys. I'm sorry.
In the arms of an angel.
tisk.
For this one, though, as a buffer, I've got a story about burgers.
Mm.
Are you intrigued?
Krabby Patty?
I like burgers.
Am I the asshole for telling her to stop spending $45 on burgers weekly?
That's
That's a
crazy.
good amount of change.
That's
Yeah.
one trip to Five Guys. My male 42, sister-in-law 33, recently started selling burgers on Saturdays. She works a 9 to 5, Monday through Friday office job with a good salary, but she recently discovered she's pregnant with her ex's baby.
Ooh.
Yikes.
He's no longer in the picture. That's redundant. I don't know why you wrote that. So she is selling burgers for extra income. Now every Saturday, my wife, 40, buys burgers for our family. It's 3 kids, 12, 10, and 8.
Gotcha.
My issue is that my sister-in-law sells every burger for $9. So
That's
5 burgers.
crazy.
So 5 burgers is $45.
It's like a Wendy's meal.
The burgers are tasty, don't get me wrong, but she is using my mother-in-law's recipe that my wife also knows. So I don't see why we should spend $45 weekly on burgers when my wife can make identical ones at home and we would spend less money on the ingredients. To be clear, technically we can afford sister-in-law's burger comfortably, or we can afford sister-in-law's burger comfortably. I just don't see why we should when there are cheaper options. I tried to talk about it with my wife, and she said she mostly buys because she wants to support her sister. I told her it's not our job to support her sister. Besides, as the burgers are tasty and every weekend they are sold out in a couple of hours, I don't think losing our 5 burgers would put a dent in her business. Yesterday, I told my wife again we shouldn't buy the burgers, and she asked me why I cared if she was buying them from her money, not our money. We each have a separate account and then a joint account.
Gotcha.
I told her it's not about that. I just don't think it's sensible to spend $45 every weekend on burgers when she already knows the recipe. She said she'll be spending $36 then because she won't be buying mine anymore if it bothers me so
That's
much.
That's
Crazy.
funny.
That's good.
Right.
That's exactly what she did. She bought burgers for our kids and her and didn't buy me one, which okay. Anyway, I got the Big Mac for cheaper. So I thought we were okay, but she's been acting as if she's mad since yesterday. I fail to see why she is mad. Am I the asshole?
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's
It's a puzzling one.
it's a
isn't
tough
it?
call because like the initial action, yes. But you understand his intention. He wants to save money.
Right.
So I think, yeah, there is the tag stingy asshole or whatever.
Right.
But, from someone who is a stingy asshole, I agree with him and I can see where he's coming from.
That's where I'm at, because there's 2 combinations of this that blows my mind. One, I'm also kind of curious how sister-in-law is selling these. Is it a food truck?
That's the vibe I'm getting. Maybe
Yeah.
like a small startup restaurant or a food truck.
It's like a lemonade stand outside of her house.
Yeah.
It's like, burgers!
Get the burger here.
Also, I feel like you guys know this. Any expensive burger, most of the time, it's got it's usually thick. Like it's
Yeah.
usually,
Yes.
and I'm like, maybe for an 8-year-old to be eating a patty the size of his head, maybe a little unhealthy. Like,
I think that's a good point. I think we're probably missing a lot because you've got an 8, a 10, and
Okay.
a 12-year-old. They're not eating big burgers.
No,
Sure.
yeah, I
You explain.
definitely also, for it to be $9, need to see the size of the burger.
That's
Yes.
true.
Like if it's, a decent sized burger, maybe.
I will say this post has been deleted since,
ooh.
Fair.
so I can't go back. So I'm assuming he was getting pretty grilled.
Well, what a Reddit dean that
I
it didn't even click with me. What did Reddit say he was?
Reddit deemed him the asshole.
Yeah, I can see that.
With
It-
10,000 upvotes.
Dang, that's
Dang.
crazy. I mean, you can understand because it's a family member, it's their business, and the fact that he's like, I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe be like, hey, I don't want to do this every weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe we can
Make
do
it a
it
treat.
like once a month, once
Yeah.
every other week. Like he said, they're selling out every weekend, so it's not like she's
not
struggling
sure.
to sell them.
Right.
The part where I go asshole is he says we're not struggling to afford. Like
Yeah.
this is a luxury to us,
Yeah.
and we know that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, all right, well
Okay.
then you're just not
Yeah.
supporting family, and then that's a little. Like I guess you don't have to. The argument would have been better if it was like I'm not in the mood for a burger every Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
can't imagine.
but it's just like we can afford it, and I don't want to do it. It's kind of like, all right, man.
I did forget about that part at the beginning.
I'm gonna say he's like, I don't think he's like he's like in between, like asshole. I just think you're kind of like, yeah, you can stop. I agree with the whole, if you don't want one, like, yeah, if you're kind of against this, like, you don't have to, and if you're not struggling and other people want it,
And
it's
it's
like.
not your money, it's mine. I'm taking the kids to lunch. I get it.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna go, technically I'll go asshole on this, but I'm not saying it in a way like, this guy sucks.
Now go ahead, invent a new term. Let's do this right
Ass
now.
crack. There you go. Not the hole, but the crack.
Ooh.
I like
You're
it.
getting close.
You barely got, in a world where you have to go left or right, you just barely went into one category.
Yeah, ass crack. Ha!
Card
I like
reader.
that.
Sorry.
I like that. Well, that's all I brought. There's no developments. Like I said, it was deleted.
Deleted.
So,
Dang.
as much as I would love to know more, that'll do it for me.
It's lost to the ether.
Who's next?
All right.
You wanna go for it?
I got it.
I got heat for later.
So, for my story, am I the asshole? In a rage, I flashed my father-in-law right in front of my mother-in-law.
In a rage is a very interesting way to put that.
Do you mean? Wait, I'm picturing like a typo, and this is a rave. So this is like a concert set.
Oh.
Maybe.
But if it's a rage, this is gonna be really good. That's so good. All right, I'm so ready.
My husband's parents came to stay with us for the week. They live about 2.5 hours away. I sleep in shorts and a tank top. Well, this morning, I woke up and made some coffee and sat down at the table to drink it. Soon after, my father-in-law came in and got himself a cup and sat across from me. We had a nice conversation about how the family is and other things. A few minutes passed, and my mother-in-law came in and got her coffee and sat down next to her husband. She started staring me down. After a minute, she hatefully asked if I liked having my tits out in front of her husband. I was mortified and rather pissed off, so I told her it was a fucking tank top.
Ooh.
And if I wanted to show my tits, I would just do this, and pulled my shirt up and flashed in my bare chest.
Again, legend.
I immediately realized what I just did and got insanely embarrassed and hightailed it to my room. I instantly heard her go to the guest room, and within a few minutes, I heard the suitcases being wheeled down the hallway
Dang.
and the front door slammed. I immediately called my husband crying. He soon was crying too, crying from laughter.
Oh,
Okay,
I
I was
can imagine.
I feel terribly, but this lady has always torn me down and has always been hateful towards me for no other reason than the fact that I took her little baby boy from her. Damn.
How could she?
Dan?
I know I went over the top crazy, but she has been pushing me for over 20 years.
Ooh, that's warranted.
I tried to call and apologize, but she won't take my call. How big of an asshole am I?
Literally, I mean, you're being a little dramatic, but it's awesome.
Oh,
Oh, it's legendary.
so funny.
If I wanted to,
Boom!
that's sick.
I love, again, I keep saying it, I just love people that just take nothing and they're like, oh, you think this is how it is? Wow. Like, I think it's so funny.
This is like,
It's a power move.
right? This is, sorry for the inappropriate comment, but I feel like this is like real time acting out the female equivalent of penis envy.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah.
It's just
Well,
like,
I don't know.
oh.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch. We stretched it, okay?
Yeah.
But,
I'm curious. I need more information. Is
Yeah.
there an update? First, preface question.
no
Okay.
update, no even, like this is within 15 hours,
I need to know
but it does have 7,000 upvotes.
as it should.
Dang.
Yeah.
I need to know how much trouble father-in-law is for doing this the moment that happened.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no.
It did get a clapping hands, so,
what did
deservingly
Reddit
so.
say?
Yeah.
First comment, if your mother-in-law has a history of belittling you, some might argue that you were pushed to your breaking point.
Fair.
Her comment was not only rude, but invasive.
I think you ask for that.
Yeah.
If that's especially in the morning, like like coffee hasn't even hit yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That feeling of like,
Do-
what?
What did you say to me?
Right.
What did you say?
If I want to have out, boom.
Delayed
Yeah.
reaction.
It's like, okay, bet.
Like you kind of ask for it.
Yes.
Especially if like, I'm assuming it was just like at the most a sports bra or like a tank top of like some,
Yeah.
like a form-fitting tank top. I
Yeah,
guess.
something you sleep in.
Yeah.
Oh well, she's within the confines of her own house, and you're
Oh,
coming
God
in here.
forbid.
You're
Yeah.
coming in and being judgmental.
God forbid I get out of bed
Rude.
the way I went to bed.
Right? Sorry, let me hop out of bed and put on a three-piece suit for you real quick.
Suit and tie.
There. No, she needs to walk out in like,
I think it's
I
awesome.
don't know.
Yeah.
I guess for the mother's safety standards, maybe she's expecting her to walk out in like
So
a parka.
let's make this scenario up in our heads, right? Like the suitcases, were they staying with the
Yes.
the offender?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they were staying over at
When you
the
had
daughter.
first read it, I was under the impression of it was like two 25-year-olds still kind of living at home,
Oh.
and they just like decided to live. Then you're an asshole.
Yeah.
If it's your house.
Oh,
Your rules.
Yeah,
Get out of town.
Not now.
yeah, no,
Get out of town. You're awesome.
legendary,
New title. New
legendary,
title unlocked.
We gotta, like,
Legendary.
badass.
We
There
gotta
we
make
go.
a compilation by the end of the year of all the legends that we've come across.
Yes.
We'll have
Legend
our mic
compilation.
drop moments.
Literally.
Legend compilation is coming.
Oh yeah, but yeah, not the asshole.
Not even a little.
She said it with her chest. And on that note, we'll go to the next story.
Sweet Jesus. All right, boys, ready for this?
Yes.
Am I?
This was the Am I the Devil, where if people don't remember it, that is where they they find all the actual, like, on Reddit who were deemed assholes, and they put the worst of the worst people on this, okay? So, and bear with me, because I proofread this, there's a ton of spelling errors, so let me try this. It's, am I the asshole for having sex with someone at my boyfriend's funeral?
Oh my gosh, yes. We also need a compilation of that, the reaction to every story title, because that's
Gosh.
insane.
That's
Oh,
No,
wait.
Hank, we're living
You're
in
just-
silence for a minute. That's
hold up.
insane.
Yeah, a moment of silence for our boy here in the story.
All things,
Holy crap!
all things considered, it's a relatively like short story, even though we do longer ones. Actual story. I'll make this short and sweet. Boyfriend I've been dating for the past 3 years unfortunately passed away last year due to a car accident. Just so people get this in the context, completely in love, I would have married this guy. His funeral.
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure.
His funeral was held about a week ago, and per usual, I got there, whole family was there, and
No, I want to live in this silence.
I know, I do the proof, it's so bad. There was a boy I had a crush on a few years ago who was apparently friends long ago with my boyfriend. He too was at the funeral. This man was very handsome when I knew him, and he was more handsome now. And then, like, in parentheses, we're both about in our mid-20s. So what's crazy to me is that, yeah, I know, this is the end of the paragraph. Here's what's
I'll
crazy
see you later,
to me.
Jordan.
Hey guys, I'll see you. That's absurd. No, keep going.
Han, ready for it? Here's what's crazy to me.
Yeah,
This
no,
next
come over
sentence. I don't feel bad about this because I was feeling depressed this afternoon. Obviously, when you go through trauma, people experience it in their own unique ways. And there was a little side room outside the main funeral hall, and me and this guy, we struck up a conversation.
I don't want to hear anymore.
That's messed up.
I don't want to hear anymore.
One thing led to another, and you can guess what happened. Obviously, I felt some sense of shame, but at the same time, I don't exactly feel too guilty about this, because at the same time, this is very traumatic for me. News broke out about this, and
Good.
my boyfriend's mother screaming at me and threw me out of the funeral.
Good.
And
At the funeral?
yeah, this is on the side room during the funeral. Last bit here. My point of view is that I did love my boyfriend very much.
No, you didn't.
Did.
Shut.
I don't want that part to be unclear. I am, and she even says, I am going to be justifying this by saying it was a traumatic thing, and I was looking for some way to, in quotes, take the edge off. But I can get how some of my behavior could seem inappropriate, especially at the funeral. So I got to ask, am I the asshole for doing this, or am I just the asshole for doing it in the funeral hall?
If you need to take the edge off, drink a beer, smoke a
That's
cigarette.
the first time anyone's promoted cigarettes.
I'm literally like, smoke a cigarette instead of I don't know, doing the patty cake dance with your boyfriend's
Or like
friend.
Or cry. Do what you're supposed to do at a funeral.
Right? Bring some shooters. I mean, she talking
No, I can't
mushrooms.
believe that.
So there were comments were obviously overwhelmingly asshole, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people were saying, well, you're probably gonna say, that is so actually messed up that I can't even believe someone would actually do that.
Right?
And there is one small edit to this page. Scrolling back. They said, so thanks for all your guys' feedback. Just so you know, I really hate how a lot of you are discrediting how much I did love my boyfriend. He was truly the love of my life, and I cannot get over this situation, even if I tried. Again, this has been well over a year ago. So, with that, ready for it? I am disappointed in Reddit for being completely unhelpful because none of you answered the real question. Was it wrong in the first place, or was it wrong that it was in the funeral hall whenever it did it?
Yeah,
end.
I'm just, if we ever need examples for,
Not to be.
right, or just limiting procreation, boom.
That's who it is.
Boom.
That's not real.
The reason I tell this story, I'm so skeptical because of like what comments say in that it's so over the top, insane, and rationalized.
That
Like
it might be fake.
I don't know, like you know it. I'm an asshole. They do a good job at like mediating like the fake stories and stuff like this. But the fact that I made that, am I the devil? And I feel like the question being asked of, hey, am I wrong for it or wrong place, wrong time? I feel like that wouldn't be like a make situation. I feel like if you were to fake this story, you would be like, I don't feel bad. What are you talking
that's
about?
fair.
Am I in the wrong just because I'm grieving in my own unique way? That's why I like walk a thin line on it. But if we're taking it at face value,
Listen,
obviously,
I'm distraught.
like
people would even think like that.
like Josh said, people grieve in their own way, and you know there's no wrong way to grieve. But
I think there is.
But that
I can
that
think of one wrong way.
was maybe you could say a picture-perfect example of the wrong way to grieve.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe that's what we're ending on.
I want to throw this. I want to do double asshole for the girl and also the random guy.
Oh,
That he
yeah.
was just like, oh yeah, because he's just as much an asshole. He's like,
Didn't
oh,
it say he was one of his friends?
This is like
it was implied. I believe it said the girl knew this guy. Let's say they went to high school, and then years later, mid-20s, boyfriend passed away. Oh, that guy from high school. I guess they went.
Girlfriend.
They went to college. I guess that's like the implication.
this is
Girlfriend.
asshole diarrhea mode.
Poopy butthole.
We're moving up. Mud butt. Mud butt
butt.
mode.
This is the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst person.
I don't think we'll
No,
find
like-
a worse story.
I think, yeah, I
That's my
genuinely
challenge.
think this is the worst story that, well, you know, let's go ahead and get story of the day out of the
let's
way.
get
Josh,
that.
you won.
By far. I didn't think there was any topping this story.
Oh,
this
yeah.
Week,
And then,
and then you sat.
Yours is my favorite, only because my big thing, of course, is people who take charge and just show people in the face. And
Yes.
yours wrapped it up pretty well.
Oh, yours just made me sad. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, I
Like,
know.
really honestly.
dude,
That's like where I like.
I'm heated right now.
Well, I feel like for most, because most of the time I try to find like funny stuff, but initially I talked about it in the first episode. I think people that do like insane things, them trying to like, no, let me justify it. I think that same reason we like true crime stuff. Or it's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're kind of like, yeah, the serial killers are horrible people, but it's kind of interesting to see like the childhood factors, the genealogy. I think that's what makes that more interesting. Is like I like stories where it's like you were going down like it's just bad that I did it in the side room, right? Like it's fine on its own. I was grieving. Like what? You can't possibly put me in the wrong. You look bummed out.
Dude, I mean, like, and
This is
Yeah,
simultaneously the best and worst episode.
I don't know, like, how you can redeem this.
You
There's
can't.
no redeeming that.
Because, like, even if it was in, like, a different
I can
location.
think of one way everyone gets back at her. When she dies,
Or
everybody
That's crazy. That's crazy.
just
Oh,
a
boy.
bunch of 90-year-olds.
Oh my god. I think on that note, that's going to do it for us on this week on Are You the Asshole? Did you like it? What did you think of the stories? Please let us know. One thing I am going to say is for next week, I'm definitely going to try to steer more on the humor side of stuff.
Oh, it
But-
was so jarring from you this week. It
But
hurt.
one, I think it's usually if I find one just as crazy or on par, I think you kind of every once in a while, maybe like Halloween.
Yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
definitely try and beat it.
Yeah, I think on Halloween, for our Halloween episode, we need to just find the objectively worst possible stories you can go out there.
Like actually, like you were in a terrifying situation.
Yeah.
I'm down.
And as always, please stay off Reddit. See you next week.